better defense. I think you're right. Line of scrimmage, again, the 25, 2nd and 10. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Carr. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs.
And there's a completion to the tight end, and look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Carr now on 1st down. Going deep here for Bryant. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. A big play that time for the Raiders. 52 yards. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there isn't a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end.
Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you're 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the 2nd one.
They'll give it to him up the middle. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Working from the gun, it's Carr. The quick slant caught. That pass play good for 7, but it still brings up a 4th and goal.
Nice completion, nice gain.
Great tackle.
Really good tackle. Kept him in bounds, kept things going. What do you do here?
That's the question. Let's see what they do. So a big one coming now for Aldrick Rosas. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And Rosas puts this one through. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Set! Green, 39!
They run it again with Cook. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
False start, offense.
Not what you wanted there, 3rd and 2.
And this is something you've worked on in practice from the time you were in training camp, yet you still create your own mistakes.
They'll look to throw here. And Rudolph has it left side. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go.
On play action, they'll throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And his throw here is incomplete. Quandre Diggs there defensively. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
On 2nd down, Cook. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
And on the ground they go with the running back. No gain on the play as we have reached the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And they're looking at 4th down now in this tie ball game. Here's Ryan Quigley now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Now Carr. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a 1st down. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Everyone dialed in. Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Right back to him on 1st down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Here's Carr to throw, and that is incomplete. Trying to get it there to Martavis Bryant. 3rd down here.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes, and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. And this one is no good. He missed it. And a costly one there as this game remains tied here in the fourth.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
And out now come the Vikings. They need to get this around the 40 on the other side to get into field goal range. Look at the clock, a decent amount of time here in a tie game. What do?
No panic situation at all. They've got to get a couple of chunk plays, pick up nice bits of yardage.
Target the sidelines.
Target the sidelines because you want to get out of bounds and make sure that clock stops. Because if the clock stays running, that makes things that much tougher for you. It can always bleed out on you.
Give him 30 yards there.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Handoff comes to Cook. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Again, it's Cook. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the fourth. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action.
Here we go. Green.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Now the Raiders going to burn their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game. A give. This is Cook. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the pickup. And just like that, it's third down. Now, what's the thinking here? Because a touchdown would be nice, but you've ensured yourself a chance at 3 in the lead. So how worried are you about the 6?
You're not very worried about if you're confident in your kicker. And if you got a kicker who can put it through the post, you feel really good about trying to bleed that clock down. In an ideal scenario, your kicker puts it through the post as the clock hits zeros.
A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for the Vikings, it may not be too late to salvage their season as the win moves them to 2-5 now on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, they can't quite seem to turn things around as they fall into 2-4 now on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week